Question 1 to 6. Complete the table below. Time 11:39 p.m. Person, position. In paragraph A, at 11:39 p.m. on the evening of Sunday, 14 April 1912, lookouts Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee on the forwardmost of Titanic sighted an airy, black mass coming into view directly in front of the ship. Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee had noticed a dark mass approaching the ship from the front, and the fleet had informed the ship's sixth officer Moody. Fleet picked up the phone to the helm, waiting for sixth officer Moody to answer, and yelled iceberg right ahead. Second position. Fleet. In paragraph A, same line. Lookouts Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee. Lee and Fleet were both lookouts who had noticed the iceberg first, which meant they were assigned to lookout post. Third, person Andrew, position ship's designer. Paragraph B, the ship's designer Thomas Andrew carried out a visual inspection of the ship's damage and informed Captain Smith at midnight that the ship would sink in less than 2 hours. Captain Smith was notified by the ship designer regarding sinking at 12 a.m. or midnight. Fourth, 12:15 a.m. Person Smith, position captain, ordered dash to be released. In paragraph B, by 12:30 a.m., the lifeboats were being filled with women and children, after Smith had given the command for them to be uncovered and swung out 15 minutes earlier. Captain Smith promptly ordered the discharge of lifeboats after learning that the ship would sink in less than 2 hours at midnight, and the lifeboats were being filled with passengers by 12:15, 15 minutes earlier. Ordered lifeboats to be released. 2:17 a.m. Bride and Phillips. Position. In paragraph C, at 2:17 a.m., Harold Bride and Jack Phillips tapped out their last wireless message after being relieved of duty as the ship's wireless operator, and the ship's band stopped playing. So Arnold, Bride and Jack Phillips were working under the position of wireless operators as they typed their last message before getting relieved from the duty at 2:17 a.m. Sixth, relayed final dash. In paragraph C, at 2:17 a.m., Arnold Bride and Jack Phillips taped out their last wireless message after being relieved of duty as the ship's wireless operators, as they typed their last message before getting relieved from the duty at 2:17 a.m. Question 7 to 13. True false not given. 7. The binoculars for the men on watch had been left in a crew locker in Southampton. This statement is false. In paragraph D, due to a last-minute change in ship's officer lineup, iceberg lookouts Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee were making do without a pair of binoculars that an officer transferred off the ship in Southampton had left in a cupboard on board, unbeknownst to any of the ship's crew. Due to the urgency of the situation, the pair of binoculars were left in a cupboard on board and not in crew locker in Southampton. Eighth is not given. Ninth, Phillips missed notification about the ice from Evans because Titanic's wireless system was not functioning at the time. This statement is false. In paragraph B, less than an hour before the Titanic struck the iceberg, wireless operator Cyril Evans on the California, located just 20 miles to the north, tried to contact operator Jack Phillips on the Titanic to warn him of pack ice in the area. Shut up, you are jamming my signal, Phillips replied, I'm busy. The Titanic's wireless system had broken down for several hours earlier that day, and Phillips was clearing a backlog of personal messages that passengers had requested to be sent to family and friends in the USA. Philip responded, I am busy, indicating that he did not miss Evans' notification, and the wireless system had failed for several hours earlier that day, rather than at the moment. 10th, Captain Smith knew there was ice in the area. This statement is true. In paragraph E, nevertheless, Captain Smith had maintained the ship's speed of 22 knots despite multiple earlier warnings of ice ahead. Here it is mentioned that Captain Smith received multiple earlier warnings of ice ahead, which confirms that he knew there was ice in the area. 11th, Howell believed the captain's failure to reduce speed was an irresponsible action. This statement is false. In paragraph E, it has been suggested that Smith was under pressure to make headlines while arriving early in New York, but maritime historians such as Richard Howell have countered this perception. Nothing that Smith was simply following common procedure at the time and not behaving recklessly. From the given information, behaving recklessly has been paraphrased to irresponsible action. Howell believed the captain was following the norm of the day and was not behaving recklessly or responsibly. 12th, the Titanic was able to seat more passengers in lifeboat than the Board of Trade required. This statement is true. In paragraph F, this means that the Titanic, with room for 1178 of its 122 passengers, actually surpassed the Board of Trade's requirement that it carry lifeboats for 1060 of its passengers. Titanic actually surpassed the Board of Trade's requirement. It has 1178 lifeboats, which was much higher than the required 1060. Hence, the statement is correct. 13th statement is not given. None of the passages confirms or denies that a lifeboat drill would have saved more lives.